Hello and welcome to another video from Football Oasis. Today we are tackling a sensitive and very controversial topic. Therefore, I'm going to break down both sides of the argument and leave room for you, the viewer, to make up your mind. But before we go any further, if you are new to this channel, make sure you go down below and subscribe. As of recently, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about the pay gap within football, with people campaigning that women and men should be paid the same. Firstly, let's start off with the argument that women should not receive the same pay. Football is not a regular workplace. Male footballers are paid a lot more because they simply generate more money. Male footballers now have huge wages because the amounts that the clubs generate, whether it's from ticket sales or anything else. When compared to women football, they just don't generate as much audience, which affects how much money comes through, which is why they're paid less than men. Maybe the argument is not as much of a gender debate now, but it's more of a financial one. For example, think of two employees. One makes lots of sales and therefore gets a lot more commission, and the other generates less sales, therefore gets less commission. It would then be unfair to go and pay both of them the same amount of money because they're both simply producing different amounts for the company. And at the end of the day, football is a business. And just like any other business, it's all about the money. Let's take away gender for a second. If company A is not generating as much money as company B, then they simply can't pay the employees the same as the other company. This is backed by the FIFA president Gianni Infantino when he said maybe one day women football will generate as much as men football. Some are calling it unjust for men to be paid more than women. But wouldn't it be unjust if women were to make as much as men without generating as much money? Where is the governing body even going to get this money from? It is essentially going to be coming out of their own pockets and profits. And in the long term, a company that is overpaying their staff simply cannot stand. Some women are saying that the media plays a huge amount in how much money is actually being generated in the sport. And there's an argument that says if women were to get as much coverage, they would be on the same level of how much money gets generated. The numbers would definitely increase, but would they actually generate as much money as the men do? Should women football be focusing on viewer numbers, tournaments, and quality football, which is going to increase the money that gets generated? And now to the flip side of the argument, and this is why women should be paid equally as men. One of the biggest points that is argued is prize money. The winners of the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup, who were the USA, won a total of 4 million. And this may sound like it's a lot of money. However, when compared to the FIFA Men's World Cup, which was played in 2018, won by France, they won 38 million. Also, when we look at the difference in pay, we'll notice that a Premier League player on average earns 3.5 million euros a year, whereas women of equivalent level earn between 27 to 40,000 per year, which depends on which country they play in. In response, many of the women's national teams have demanded that this pay gap either is completely removed or at least decreased. And as we all know that the Matildas and the Socceroos now share 24% of revenue, which means that under the new agreement, the Matildas and the Socceroos make the same amount of money. However, not all female football clubs have this luxury. The US women's soccer team filed a lawsuit against US governing body for soccer over gender discrimination and are demanding to be paid the same as men. Similar, the Danish team has refused to play a match in 2017 because of the same reason. Whereas in 2017 also the Norwegian FA have come out and said that men and women will be paid the same, while the Dutch FA have recently agreed that by 2023 men and women will also be paid the same. Female campaigners around the world have long argued that men and females who are completing the same job should be paid the same. Some have said paying women less than men is unjust and morally wrong, which highlights another point that it may not just be about discrimination, but it would actually send a strong message of the importance of both female and male football. This is a very positive message and it's actually going to promote women's football. Yes, the men currently have bigger crowds and generate more shirt sales, which means that clubs are chasing the money rather than trying to promote women's football to be equivalent as men. And at the end of the day, they're employed by the same person and are completing the same job. Another point is that it's about having the same working conditions, such as training facilities, travel, and equal working conditions. For example, in 2018, when Phil Neville was assigned the England women's squad, one of the first major changes that he decided to do was implement first-class tickets for the women football team. Something that may seem insignificant, but if you look at the grand scheme of things, it's a byproduct of this exact topic. Therefore, the argument that women should be paid the same as men is far more than just it being about money, but it's about fairness, respect, and equality. All in all, I'm sure that you guys have an opinion on this topic, but I want to say to everyone who has a conversation with anyone else about this delicate topic, be sensitive in the way you converse and deal with everyone respectfully, even if they have a different opinion than you. Overall, is it an argument of discrimination, or is it purely a business? Which means whoever generates more makes more. Those were the two sides of the story, and I would love to know which side of the fence you guys sit on, so leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, share, follow us on social media, share us on social media, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you know when a new video comes out. This was Football Oasis, and we'll see you next week.